For years I replayed every single conversation, completely convinced I could think my way to a perfect life, a perfect relationship. But then I lost someone I loved, and I realized the saboteur wasn't out there, it was in my own head. My own thoughts were destroying my life and I didn't even see it. This constant loop of what-ifs and should-haves wasn't protecting me, it was holding me prisoner. And if any of this sounds familiar, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That prison has a name: overthinking. It's that moment at 2 a.m. when your brain decides to replay an awkward conversation from 5 years ago. It's sending a text, then spiraling into 100 worst-case scenarios when you don't get a reply in 3 minutes. A lot of us live here, trapped in a state of analysis paralysis, where we're so busy dissecting a problem that we can't make a decision at all. This isn't the same as problem solving. Problem solving is about finding a solution and moving forward. Overthinking is a hamster wheel. It's repetitive, it's draining, and it keeps you focused on the problem, not the solution. It's usually rooted in worry and fear, replaying the past and imagining future catastrophes, leaving you completely stuck. If you're nodding along, just know that this cycle is incredibly common, and more importantly, it can be broken. For me, overthinking came from a deep-seated perfectionism. I truly believed that if I could just analyze every angle, every choice, and every relationship, I could avoid any possibility of pain or failure. I was trying to control the uncontrollable. This kind of pattern is often a trauma response, a coping mechanism the brain develops to feel safe after being hurt. It's a way of protecting yourself by constantly scanning for threats. When I lost someone I cared about, it felt like my brain's worst fears were confirmed. My mind went into overdrive, desperately replaying every mistake, every word I should have said differently, convinced I could somehow think my way to a timeline where it didn't happen. But all that thinking just kept me trapped in a loop of grief and regret. It sabotaged my ability to heal, to be present for the people who were still in my life, and to trust my own judgment. My attempt to avoid pain became the very source of my deepest suffering. The turning point wasn't some big aha moment, but a slow, deliberate decision to stop being a prisoner in my own mind. I had to learn new ways to handle my thoughts. These are the 3 steps that changed everything for me. First, step 1. The awareness anchor. I had to learn to spot the spiral as it was starting. Then, I needed to get out of my head and into my body. I used a simple grounding technique called the 5-4-3-2-1 method. You just pause and name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This simple act yanks your attention out of the chaos your mind is spinning and anchors you in the present moment, where things are almost always okay. Second, step 2, the worry window. I realized I couldn't just stop thinking, so I decided to manage it instead. I created a worry window, a specific 15-minute period each day where I gave myself full permission to overthink anything I wanted. If a worry popped up outside of that time, I'd write it down and tell myself, I'll deal with you at 6 p.m. This taught my brain it couldn't run wild all day. It contained the anxiety, and funnily enough, by the time my worry window arrived, most of the issues felt so much smaller. And finally, step 3, action as the antidote. This was the most powerful step of all. I realized the ultimate cure for overthinking isn't more thinking, it's action. Analysis freezes you, but action sets you free. Instead of stressing for 3 hours about the perfect way to start a project, I'd just start working on it for 5 minutes. Instead of replaying a conversation in my head, I'd send a quick text to a friend. The best way to break a mental loop is to create real-world momentum. Losing someone I loved was the painful wake-up call I needed to see how my own thoughts were holding me hostage. But you don't have to wait for a tragedy to make a change. You can decide, today, to stop being a prisoner of your mind. You can choose to be present, to take imperfect action, and to trust that you can handle whatever comes next. Start with just one of these steps, just one. If you've ever felt trapped by your own thoughts, let me know in the comments which of these steps you're going to try first. Your story might be the one thing someone else needs to read today. And if this was helpful, subscribe for more ways to reclaim your mental space and live a life with less worry and more action.